Happy Saturday morning, and it is definitely morning. I'm not really very awake, but yes, I haven't had breakfast yet. That's how I know it's morning. That's usually a good rule of thumb. And it looks like it's going to be a nice weekend.
Welcome to another episode of Toby's Stupid Vlog.
So as you can see, all the film trucks have gone, all the catering units and what have you, and it's all been returned to normal. It's a bit of a shame. I was kind of getting used to them. I was getting used to living on a film set. I'll go back to, just living in sleepy old Kew. Let's hope this doesn't come back. They took the plank of wood with them so they could get through. Oh, there we go. Now that's a real caterum. Unlike the ones you see on the Formula 1 circuit. You'll notice there's almost no one down this street apart from one bloke guarding it. A couple of blokes. There's their fake for sale signs. You can see they're still packing up. You'll see a lot of those in the film. There's another fake one over there. They've all got fake telephone numbers and everything. This is Hamgate Avenue, which leads down to the Hamgate of Richmond Park, or leads up to, I should say, away from Ham Common, which is there. And this is summer. Remember this when it's raining on Tuesday. This is one of the entrances to the Isabella Plantation, which is one of the fenced off areas inside of Richmond Park that are they're fenced off to protect them from the deer primarily, but this is a sort of formalised garden, as it were, with lakes and pathways and whatnot. Whereas the others are things like a rhododendron dell and slightly more wild. This is right down towards the Kingston end of the park. Yeah, so it's very nice in there. It's a bit, it's a bit full of small children looking lost. But it's very nice. Lots of rhododendrons and flowers and things. A bit more organised and no deer to come and munch you. So now we're going to try and find the Richmond Gate by navigating via the sun and a couple of planes. This is to show exactly how peaceful it is in Richmond Park. If you find the right part and there's nobody there, it's very nice. It's the occasional deer, but they're well hidden at the moment. It's a beautiful sunny day and we're in Kew Gardens. And this is the Zestra Treetop Walkway, and for the first time in its existence the lift works, and it's been around for about 4 years. Takes you up there, but we're not going up because apathy, It's lovely though, look at how blue it is. You can see people's feet. Hello, good morning, it's Monday. I've come out for my morning walk. I'm acutely aware that because I've left half an hour later than I intended, I'm now going to miss any delivery that was going to come for me today. So, I'd like you to guess exactly what I've missed on how many packages. It's a lovely day for a wander around Kew. Check out the roses. Yeah. Just wandering around the housing estates of Kew. Get a bit of fresh air. It's supposed to be nice today, but some of the clouds are quite ominous. So, it's just, I haven't taken a jacket as you can see, so it's a bit of a risky business. We'll see how it goes. Keep hoping the sun will come out so I can sit in the garden and do some work in the garden. I hasten to add, not just sit there and be like, ooh. This is how Kew Gardens should be experienced. Yesterday was nice, the sun was out and it was beautiful and everything. There were thousands of people here. Literally every family having a picnic on the grass. Wonderful for them, but for me, this is how I like it. My own personal, private back garden with 14,000 trees in it. That was a pagoda, by the way. Bottom of that tree, there's a squirrel. He hasn't seen me yet. He's just having his lunch or his breakfast. because I'm dressed as a tree. Yeah. Now this is the Temperate House. It's about to be closed for a fair few years to be restored, along with the Evolution House. I don't even know if it's open today actually. It'd be interesting to see inside if we can. It's about to be closed permanently. Well, semi-permanently. Look, here it is. You gonna show off? No? Is that it? Go on, do your thing. You're a peacock. With the feathers? No? Fine. Just ignore me then. So there's the pagoda, which I've come from. There's the palm house where I'm going to. Such will conclude my walk for the day. All the kids will begin to turn up. School kids generally, coming up to tour parties, foreign school kids at this time of year. So it's beginning to fill up with people. That's the point, I'm done. I'm like, people in my garden, how dare you? So I'm going back to my other garden. Would you like to hear my middle class problem of the day? Can't find any artichokes. I really need artichokes. I'm supposed to be cooking with them this evening. I haven't got any. Where are they? Where do they grow? Actually, I know where they grow because I saw some yesterday in Kew. But I can't exactly go into the gardens, break into their little vegetable garden and steal a load of artichokes. So I'm going to have to go to another supermarket, I guess. In case you're wondering, it's now 4 hours later. But, so, you know, mission accomplished. Okay, so artichokes purchased, along with spinach, 3 types of cheese, even some mayo and a lot of garlic, salt and garlic and seasoning. And then I've laid that on top of, usually it'd just be a dip, you see, like that. But I've laid it on top of pasta this time, with some water obviously to make it a bake. So we're now going to see what happens when I adapt the spinach plus artichokes equals awesomeness into the spinach / artichoke / pasta awesomeness bake. So whilst that's baking, passing the time like a 4-year-old. I tell you what, it doesn't matter how old you get in life, there's few things that are more satisfying than that. Doesn't matter how long you live, I guarantee that will still be fun. Look who it is, my nemesis. The crazy squirrel. He's eating like a whole apple. I need to get past him to... And he's gone. Good morning. I was worried that the weather was going to be a little like it was yesterday and prevent me from getting outdoors. But it's, I don't know, it's warm actually. I'm wearing a jacket just because of the breeze, but it just doesn't feel like summer. It did the weekend and now it doesn't again. So anyway, a bit of a walk today, then I've got a few things to get to grips with in earnest, including a couple of pitches that I need to properly flesh out for all sorts of weird and wonderful things, more details to follow. And then I may or may not be going to an award show this evening. Time will tell. Regardless, I'm trying to make the most of today. A bit more zen-like calm is required. So I'm sure you remember that last year we went on 6 holidays, including centre parks, in the space of the calendar year, which was amazing, but obviously quite expensive and not something we'll be able to repeat in a hurry. But what it did mean was, for the first year in living memory, you never had that moment where you felt, oh God, I really need a holiday. It didn't happen at all last year, not once. and it's amazing, but you forget that feeling. And now I've got it. It's probably the first time I've had it in 18 months. And damn, it stings. So for me anyway, what that involves is I start smelling pine trees, more obviously, and craving mountains. It sounds really silly, but I just desperately want to go up a mountain. And I'm about 11 metres above sea level, so that's not working well. I think what it really is a desperate craving for stress relief, and that's going to sound slightly odd coming from a man who quit his job. But it's obviously different types of stresses depending on whether you're in an office 24/7, which is pretty horrible, or whether you're just trying to, find work 24/7. It's obviously very different, but it amounts to the same thing, which is chickens, which is a general sort of feeling of sort of perpetual mental exhaustion. Anyway, it wasn't that long ago we were in Barcelona, was it? It was only, when was it? Middle of April? What are we now? Beginning of July? Thanks. Anyway, between now and then, we've got some pretty exciting things going on. Not least going up, I think it's now called Queen Elizabeth Tower, which is the main tower at Westminster. So that's happening next Tuesday, 9th. And then we've got going up the Shard at some point with an afternoon tea. That's happening sometime in July as well. And we're going to the vineyard when we get back from Switzerland, which is the bank holiday. So there's plenty going on that isn't work. Just need to fill out the work bits in between now. Here we go, the back alleys of Kew. Not the scariest place in the world. You know you're in Kew because you can always hear the planes. Yeah, this is an interesting alleyway. It doesn't really serve a purpose, seeing as it runs parallel to the street, but clearly at some point there was a disagreement on when one garden ended and another one began, so there's now a passage through the middle. I've nearly finished the walk, which means I need to do some work. Walk then work. That's the order of business. Actually, I need to have some breakfast, even though it's about 10 o'clock. Hungry. Hadn't been out today yet. Didn't realise how warm and humid it was. This jacket's a bit unnecessary, but I've got a bus to catch, so no turning back. I'm off to look at a lens. Yeah, that's what my life has become. Hi, so 2 weeks after they arrived, sorry, I thought I was filming the other on the other side. They're just still packing up. You can see a big white van there over my shoulder. They're just finally packing up the film. They've had to repaint the entire front of the house and redo all the frames of the windows. So it's been a bit of a trauma. So they're nearly finished today, hopefully, and then I'll get the road back. So then, that was reasonably successful in the grand scheme of things. I bought a cheap lens, very cheap, specifically for holidays and not for filming, because it just ain't that great, but in the bright sunshine like this on top of a mountain, it'll do just fine. So I'll have to go and test it, I guess, by going up a mountain in 6 weeks. Who's counting? Amazing. I don't think everyone will then trip over. Comedic genius. Anyway, what I was going to say is this little route that I found myself going today into Teddington. The walking part anyway. Takes you past a lot of schools. And the thing you notice when you are exposed to a lot of kids screaming and shouting is how easily they're upset. Now, that's usually because whatever's upset them has caused a highly irrational reaction. Now, that's not to say that irrational is bad or stupid. It's not that at all, it's a learning curve. So, what a kid can't do that you and I, presuming you're older than the age of, say, 14, can, is when they suffer a tremendous hardship, like, I don't know, they don't get a milkshake they wanted, or they fall over and they scrape their knee or something and they burst into tears and the world's come to an end, if they're unable to step back from that moment and look at the broader scope and say, so I didn't get a milkshake, is my life really that bad? No, in fact it's not. And, you know, I'm going to move on because there's things that are more important to me. They can't do that because they don't have life experience. Perfectly normal, perfectly understandable, but we can look at that and go, ha ha ha, isn't it funny how upset you are because it's so irrational? But very often what we fail to realise is that that exact same logic could be applied to us when we start getting irrationally upset over things that we can't control. So, something trivial sets you off, who knows what it is. Man who's going to deliver a parcel to you this morning turned up an hour late. Your life is ruined. You are furious. Are you though? I mean, really? Does your life depend on that parcel? I doubt it. It wasn't a kidney, was it? It's just that you've got an expectation and you've been let down. But really, if you step back from that moment yourself and looked at it, how important it really is, you'd probably say, not at all, really, and I'm going to carry on and do something that's more important. Anyway, long story short, it's important to be able to step back from whatever trauma you might believe you've suffered and look at it with a rational mind and really evaluate how important it is to you. Because I tell you what, you will find that you are freed from a lot of your stresses pretty quickly. And I know it's not always easy because you might be overly emotional in that moment, and that's fine. But when you can separate yourself from that event and look at it, you'll probably think, my life's pretty good actually. At least I hope you think that. Because I hope your life is pretty good. I mean, I like to think mine is, and when I can take the time to look at it a bit more objectively, I usually find I'm pretty happy. So there we go, that's my 2 cents for the day. Welcome to Central London, Rage Our Smiley's meeting day. I'm taking it very casual because otherwise London stresses you unnecessarily. Just here for a meeting with Fred at Riding House Cafe. So that was a very constructive meeting. New iteration of Rage Our Smileys coming, well, when the next Rage Our results do, despite the fact I no longer work in the industry. Anyway, so that's about it for today. I'm going to buy myself some dinner, and Crystal's out making chocolate. So I will see you later.